Hey, hey. Hi, guys. Welcome back. All right, let's go ahead and jump on in. What is the message here for the collective right now? We have the Wheel of Fortune and we have the Two of Cups. That Wheel of Fortune makes me think we have a very unexpected turn of events. Either someone, and it could be a masculine, hasn't yet seen what is like right around him, or a masculine is going to wind up suddenly changing his mind and taking an action that he maybe never really thought he would take. There's something here about, he stands here and he holds himself in his own hand, but blocking his own vision. And then in his hand, in the same position, there's another version of him, which makes me think this is an echo of something he has done many lifetimes in a row. And at this moment in time, although he can't see it, this situation is one that he's very familiar with. He sits here hungry, like the wolf, for his Two of Cups. Meanwhile, I don't know if he has his great love could be a feminine with long dark hair. She could be very into astrology, astronomy. She may have felt like it's a past life connection, her own energy. She may be aware of this, and he is sitting there feeling the feels, but not knowing how to put it into words. But I feel as if there's going to be like the fact that the divine timing is here and it's in a positive position would say something is about to, like, the light bulb is going to switch on, or something's about to happen. We have a 10 of Swords and it is sideways. Okay, so I'm going to say, look, she has dominated his mind. She's like the 50-foot tall woman here. He said that it was over with her. And yet it can't be over when that's all you think about. He thinks about her all the time. Now it's not just, a fleeting thought at the nighttime when, he has time to unwind. She is in broad daylight, the sunflower in his mind. She is the person that goes through his mind during daytime hours, like kind of, oh God, I'm hearing Cher. Drums keep pounding a rhythm through my brain. La-di-da-di-dee, la-di-da-di-da. We have a 7 of Cups. And this 7 of Cups is very emotional in the sense that he's this burned out tree. She is made of stone, and they are holding hands, but through this rock with a little hole in it, this little unstable rock tower. Look, what I get off of this, because this is all very like surreal imagery, but it tells us a lot more. Sometimes the surreal or the abstract art is what actually is conveying a little bit more if you pause long enough and ask, okay, what is it emoting? What emotions does it bring up? What is it maybe abstractly representing? And what I'm going to say is, as everything in both of their worlds seems to be unraveling, she's standing on, again, and she's made of stone, but the stone tower that she is standing on and part of is also precariously stacked. The way their hands are still always holding out to each other, especially during a time of great upheaval. He has recently gone through like something that has burned him down to the ashes, but also taken away maybe the constructs that make us say, oh, I can't do this. I can't reach out to this person. I can't be with them because we had problems. And then at some point in life, bigger problems come along and it makes the problem that you thought you had is big and it doesn't matter anymore. All of a sudden, who cares? I've been through so much worse. I've had so many bigger upheavals in my life. I've had so many bigger losses in my life. It doesn't even matter anymore. The thing I used to believe was like this, obstacle, this end all be all. There's no way I could connect to her again. I wouldn't know how to begin to talk to her. And it's like, I almost feel as if he's never been able to let go of her, nor her him in this story. But at this point, what else even matters other than, the obstacles no longer matter because everything is on shaky ground. The whole world, their worlds are just, kind of like in a state of flux and disruption. And so what suddenly was an obstacle before, which was the two of them, seems very minor by comparison. It's like, I don't even care what problems we had faced, because what's bigger is that you stay on my mind every day. We have a 5 of Pentacles. Again, with somebody standing there juggling with their hands stuck through the sides of a tree and everybody up on stilts. Everything in all these cards keep showing us a lack of stability when we get to why he thought there was an ending, even though she dominates his mind. He didn't know how to undo an ending. He didn't know how to stop juggling the things that he had to. He was obviously very trapped, very stuck. This would have been a scenario where, how would you even have time to pull your hand out of that and get your hand in front and then alter the angle of all of these things that you're frantically juggling? And he was not just juggling like, one ball passing to the other hand. He's got 5 things that he has to juggle. Think of how fast your hands and eyes have to watch and never drop anything. And if you have the added problem of you're trapped in one location, you can't change direction. No wonder it was like, it seemed hopeless before. Like, how would I ever heal things with her when there's all of these other obstacles, and somehow I'm supposed to be the glue that holds together all these other things in my life, and I have no breathing space and I can't change a thing. So that's where his mindset was for quite some period of time, it looks like. And all of a sudden, I think despite his best efforts, I think things have fallen apart anyway. And maybe that's a really good thing, because our first cards were awesome, right? Our first card was that amazing, Wheel of Fortune in the upright, along with the 2 of Cups. We have an 8 of Wands, and it is sideways. That 8 of Wands is, the 8 of Wands energy. If we look closely, he's holding this palette, and there she is painted on this horse in the forest, but there's all kinds of gaps in between where we see her and where we don't. That's sideways, saying all of a sudden the idea of talking to her and the idea that maybe she would also want to talk to him has taken a firmer root in his mind. Maybe she feels the same way. Maybe a lot of stuff just doesn't matter anymore. A lot of the past obstacles don't matter anymore. Maybe we could talk. I'm not sure. I only have her halfway painted into my mind of, imagining what it would be like to talk to her, if she would want to talk to me too, if this could still be healed. 2 of Wands in the reverse, but he knows better. This is why, look, I'm going to say in every lifetime, these two have probably encountered a similar scenario where it was the right time for them to meet, and then things got wonky and there were obstacles, and then eventually it's like, but this love story abides anyway. This love story is there no matter what. I think in every lifetime there's been some cyclical event where 2 people who will always long for each other find themselves, faced with problems, obstacles that keep them apart, with a longing to still be together. And I almost think that something about doing it again in this lifetime, and then having, things in life get on such shaky terms, has actually clarified something, especially in his head. He already knows, and it's becoming more crystallized with like every passing minute. He already knows, but I have to talk to her. And there isn't another path forward. It is what I'm already going to do. Sometimes we know what we're going to do long before we do it, right? We already know ourselves, even if we don't admit it at first, what our plan is. We already know what we're going to go and do. Okay, so let me get another card here. What does that mean for you? 6 of Wands. That 6 of Wands, there's obviously these eyeballs, right? And she's taking off her glasses with her eyeballs on them and closing her eyes. I think he's saying, bizarrely, because this is all on his side so far, but he says, I already know that she has expected me to return. She has expected me, not because there's been any, movement on my part, but maybe she has always expected me to return the same way I've always expected to return to her. Deep down, it almost seems so stupid now that our characters, didn't just admit what they knew all along, which is, of course, I'm coming back to you. We have a Queen of Wands, and she is in like a bit of a hospital bed scenario with many different, her chest is open, and, her liver is off to the side, and all kinds of blood vessels. And this either says that our feminine has been reconstructing herself, piecing herself back together, or perhaps, I know we're seeing all of these body parts, as if she were injured and had to have, surgery or replacement of this or that. But I am actually looking at this a little bit more like she too has changed. She has a confidence now. I feel like this is more like neural pathways and an awareness that I've always wanted to still talk to him as well. That's kind of the way it comes across. But let me change decks and ask her. Gosh, I wish I had another deck as intricate. Oh, I do have a really good one. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and see for her. 10 of Cups. And this deck has much to do with the heart anyway. But it's interesting how different decks, different artists, of course, but you see the similarity. Like we see all these, in this case, ribbons, but here it was blood vessels that were making me think more about like neurons and thought processes in her mind. She has made a decision over time to say, I actually really want to be happy. And I know in this weaving, winding thought process, I actually am very much in a place of I simply desire happiness at this point. I'm not thinking about obstacle. I'm thinking about a positive outcome. When we change our mindset like that, we have the Hanged Man and the 10 of Pentacles. When we change our mindset to where so many obstacles to our happiness no longer are the focal point, instead, we're looking at what we want, the joy of the outcome. And the outcome is like, I want the good stuff. That's really what I want. So can I please just focus on getting the good stuff? And I would say, yes, she can definitely get the good stuff now. We have the Chariot. It is sideways, almost like, what action do I take? Or does someone take action toward me? She wants happiness. He's in a place of hunger over her. He's been in that same energy, that sideways 10 of Swords, along with the Chariot sideways on her side. To me, those are really important cards because it shows where both of them are at. By the way, she could be a Leo, Sag, or Aries. Doesn't have to be. We also had her possibly as a Cancer or a Pisces. I would just say she's in a lot of emotion right now, recognizing, when everything else gets feeling stressful and unstable, sometimes that's where we go, what matters the most? That one relationship. And no matter what the conflicts and problems were, honestly, what matters more is that was still something that, I think we could patch up and I think we could get beyond. Honestly, I don't even care about the problems that were there. Now that all depends on what the problems were, right? But both people seem to be only I'll say victims of delay, in the sense that neither one is aware of what action they're going to take exactly, as far as when, but the awareness that it's time, something has to give, and I just need to talk to my person again. Because ultimately, at the end of the day, when everything else falls away and everything else is upside down, what matters? The person that I love. So that's what's going to happen, even though once upon a time it was I don't know how we'll ever patch stuff up. And now it's it doesn't matter. We're going to figure that bit out because it's the other stuff in life that is unstable and way more tumultuous. What is less tumultuous is the fact that I love this person. It got simplified. The only question is who makes the move. And it seemed like it was going to be him. 4 of Pentacles, I don't know. We still have, this is on her side. We have her saying, I think he will hold back from me. I don't see him moving toward me. We have the Sun. We have the 9 of Swords. She says, even if he would want to, I think he won't. I think he'll let his nerves, block him from doing that. But then again, maybe it's going to be, that's just in her mind that she thinks, no, I don't see him doing that. Let's go back over to him. Another sideways card. Three of Cups. He is picturing the outcome of standing there, talking to her, but not necessarily the vehicle to get from we're not talking to we are talking, even though he already knows this has to happen. So we're at a funny moment right now where two people are going to connect, and yet, or they both want to, and that part is crystallizing, but the actual jump to meet still seems to be the how. When does this happen? We have a 10 of Cups in the reverse, and holy smokes, talk about overthinking. And the vehicle of actually opening up that first dialogue, whether it's a text, whether it's an email, that could be like a really tough thing for somebody to like write. Because I feel like somebody is tapping something out, trying to explain it. Oh my God, well, no wonder. We have this King of Swords, and this card always makes me think of like a movie with like Humphrey Bogart where, there's like some kind of, I don't know, we got this old fashioned like G-man, he looks like private investigator. And then we've got the femme fatale, and we've got, just this feeling of, threats and, daring. And so I don't know if his situation truly was layers of like movie quality drama, where there was like, oh, there was legal battles, there was some villain, there was somebody creating drama, there was all kinds of, and there's so much that I have to tell this feminine about what a tangled web. Remember, he had the 5 of Pentacles that he was juggling perpetually. And I looked at it as it was sapping his strength and energy because he had to keep so many things moving. And in this case, it is the King of Swords. Now we can name him, who's like, the amount of drama was unbelievable. It's like they were spied on. They had a villain involved. They had, like some legal battle. They had so many things going on here. With that 7 of Wands, here he is like holding the pen saying, so how do I explain? What's my opening line to her? How do I explain to her everything that's happened that was the obstacle to me talking to her before? How do I explain all this? Well, let me come up with an idea here. Let me find the answer. We'll take this to a part 2 because this is a big drama. So I'll see you guys in part 2. There will be a free link right there in the description box. Thanks for being with me.